And welcome back to Week 5, Day 1 of the HCS Pro League fall season. I'm Elamite, and at the Xfinity desk joining me is T Squared. And of course, we just saw a couple decent series here. We saw a quick 3-0 sweep coming out of Optic Gaming, or excuse me, 3-1 sweep coming out of Optic Gaming. We saw a really close first series, Luminosity defeating LOL 3-0. But what we also saw over the break here are a couple of tweets that were coming out. So we did have Ogre2 tweet towards Gordon Hayward. And he tweeted about playing Halo. So, of course, you can see that on your screen there, that we should play in game sometime. And then Gordon Hayward, of course, an NBA player for the Jazz there, responded, hey, to play with a Halo OG anytime, man. So, of course, we did look up a little bit. He's not in a game tonight, so, maybe he's at home watching. And if he's not, if he wants to come out to the finals, this will be a formal invitation that we'd be more than happy to host you at the NA Finals here in the Burbank Studios, or ESL Burbank Studios, on December 11th, as I know he has a game on the 10th.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome to see him out here and see how he stacks up. Maybe first to 15 in Halo, then first to 15 on the basketball court type of thing. Got to be a little careful. Ogre2 may dunk on you.
You're pretty tall, Tom. You might be able to put up a fight.
Oh, we'll see how it goes. I love basketball, though. Big fan of Gordon Hayward. He's done a lot for Esports in terms of breaking the stereotype, and that's one of the things that I got a lot of love for him for, because that's one of the original things that I started playing video games and kind of trying to lead the charge towards that for Halo, because a lot of people think video games are antisocial and things like that, but really it's brought me all over places, just like it brought alumni I was talking about in the interview earlier, and just made such great friends over it.
Right. And then, of course, we do want to hear from you at home. So make sure you do tweet at us using the hashtag HCS or at ESL Halo. And, of course, like we said, their formal invitation out to Hayward. And it's awesome to see, especially athletes, like you said, they're breaking the stereotype or just being vocal leaders for video games and esports, as it's something that so many people do. Even back in the day, we've had so many different NFL, NBA, rap, people, anybody come through and participate in the games as well.
Gave lessons to Richard Jefferson, who won the championships with the Cavaliers. Gave lessons to Luke Walton, who ended up being a coach now. So it's interesting. Tim Duncan also as well. So a lot of athletes are actively involved with gaming. I know some of them. I think even the Dallas Mavericks have like gaming stations set up in their locker rooms too. So definitely, every shape and size, all different players, whether they're athletes or just normal people, or anybody plays video games, and that's the whole point here.
It is the whole point. That's why we're here doing what we do. Now, of course, we are here for the Halo action. And we got our new match coming up, and that's going to be Team Allegiance battling Evil Geniuses, the third match of the night. And we've talked about the importance here, as it is so much on the line here for these teams trying to escape relegation and essentially make it into the next season here. Now, let's take a little bit of a further look here at these teams, and starting off with Team Allegiance. We do have Contra Predominator Straightsig, who is that newest addition, who came over from Team LOL in the previous season, and then followed up by Falcated. Now, this is the battle to stay out of relegation here for these two teams, and now we're seeing just such a tight race that it can be anybody's game. And although Allegiance finished 5th, 6th last season, Contra and Predominator, they're falling behind.
Yeah, I think that Evil Geniuses, they probably weren't watching the previous series, but had to be rooting for Optic Gaming to beat E6, because Evil Geniuses, they're not thinking that much about relegations. They're trying to make it into the playoffs, but you're right. This is possibly a battle for the relegations here based on what we're seeing so far in this season. And it's just a complete 180 based on what we thought Evil Geniuses was going to do based on how we saw the start and the fantastic way that they took down Optic Gaming. They've lost, 3 in a row now? Maybe 4.
Yeah, I mean, they were 3-1 to start off the series, including a 2-0 week 1 with a win over Optic Gaming. So they did pick up Stellar in replace of Victory X. And Stellar, like we've said before, was the most coveted free agent, the one where everyone was kind of making a pass at to try and pick up on the lineup. Now, he did end up deciding to go with Evil Geniuses, and Victory X essentially moved on to greener pastures, essentially. And Stellar was not able to perform the same way and put up the same kind of numbers that we saw from him when he was on Enigma 6.
Yeah, probably total different communication, a lot to adapt to if you're Stellar. It doesn't all come down to him, though. It's all about, to me, it's Roy and Ninja Lunchbox can continue to do his thing. He does a lot of the objective work, very underrated player in his own right, but Roy and Ninja are so strong individually that if they are playing at a high level, two of the scariest players out there, just like how Royal 2 and Frosty, just dynamic play styles, can really carry a game. If they're able to step it up, they can really carry EG to a playoff spot.
All right, but we're in our third series of the night. Let's go ahead and take a look at the match layout here as we have a Fathom CTF once again coming out for our game number 1, followed by back-to-back rigs. And then game 4, should we need a Coliseum capture the flag, and then a game number 5, Eden Slayer.
Yeah, nothing standing out too much from these game types. Obviously, you have back-to-back rigs there, but no Stasis, no Empire Strongholds. So looking at the previous matchup between these two squads, the only game type that they played that we're seeing repeated here is Slayer on the rig, which is that game 5 victory that Evil Geniuses had 50-42. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the game where Devin may have walked into his Splinter Grenade.
Yes, it was the game that he walked into that Splinter Grenade. So obviously they've had a lot of unfortunate things happen to them in some of these previous weeks, but they're still looking to bounce back. Now their hopes to make it to finals are obviously very gloomy, but they can still put up a good fight and steal some victories here, and it all starts with defeating Evil Geniuses. This is capture the flag on Fathom. First 3 captures to win. We saw some big games on here already. We've seen kill-taculars out of the players like Spartan. We're going to start this off here with Valkated as he immediately pushes over towards his porch, goes towards Silo and looking to make a play in Treehouse.
Wonder if he's going to go right for the flag here, because we know that Roy likes to go right for the flag, and Stellar smelling that one, but perfect shots coming out from Falcated. And you see that Roy did pull that flag, so now it's up to Falcated to try to get that counter pull. And spending the night sick, but HCS is always the cure at ESL Halo. Thank you, Spartacat. Get well soon.
Right, now Falcated is pushing that flag up towards top center. He's about to have a player behind him. Does escape in time without taking any kind of damage. So both flags are going to be out right now. You got Ninja getting perfect. That's Falcated. 2 kills, 2 perfects, and he's going to have the railgun, including already grabbing the flag here for this team. So Falcated off to a great start here, forcing a standoff already first minute into the game. And just like that, I almost choked, but the flag got returned, and they will go ahead and secure that first capture with railgun still in the hands of Falcated. This is great positioning here for Allegiance, and they're making a quick work of EG.
No choking in Pro League, Kyle. Come on, what are you thinking here? It's just not something that happens. But either way, Stellar did a nice job of running around the map like a chicken with his head cut off, allowing Falcated to drop down, or creating Falcated to drop down, and then getting the kill eventually. So eventually they do get the map control that they're going to need to try to get this counter, but it's not going to be enough because it looks like they're playing defense on the side of Allegiance. And Falcated, not someone that we talked about before this started, and he's been huge so far. Getting that kill onto Roy, clearing out the push there for Evil Geniuses, fantastic start for this game. And a young gun, just like we saw Denoxide be that young gun for the side of Luminosity, very similar here for Falcated. So if he can continue to play fantastic, this side, this team, Allegiance, has so much slaying power. They have really, really good shots. Some of the best shots in the entire league. So if they can just harness their energy towards communicating and towards getting the objective done, I really feel like they can be a strong team.
All right, now Straight Stick and the rest of Allegiance are collapsing here into the base of Evil Geniuses, and a great Spartan charge coming out of the hands of Ninjas. He's able to pick up a quick kill here. Now it's going to be 1 dead for each team. Slays are pretty even, but it is Allegiance currently leading. Quick 1v1 here with Stellar and Predevinator, as Stellar's going to have some damage already dealt on him. Not going to really be in position to try and contest that kill.
Yeah, and Stellar dropping down. Every time we're watching him, he's making some pretty good plays. That's 2 so far that I can count that have been pretty game-changing so far, but still down 1-0 in this game. Now, here comes that push. However, you have Straight Stick camping over there in that elbow side of the map with the light rifle, so going to be very difficult for Stellar and the rest of Evil Geniuses to infiltrate the base. Now, I thought I saw a railgun waiting behind him, but I think his teammate picked that one up, and that's what you're going to need to try to get back in there. And you saw Straight Stick eventually at his own elbow made his way all the way across the map while Stellar's just been sitting top center. So getting some good kills for Evil Geniuses, just not getting the objective work done.
Stellar is pushing over towards Treehouse. He knows there's going to be players here, does not know how many players there's going to be, and he's going to get collapsed on by 3 different people as Straight Stick pushes across. The Splinter Nade spawns. Now Contra does spot Roy, who is hiding in front of the base, pushes over to Garage, is trying to buy enough time or stay alive as long as possible. He will have Contra finishing off the kill here. He will go ahead and pick that one up on Roy as he throws a pretty good nade in a battle with Ninja.
Ooh.
And almost takes him out, but Ninja does come out ahead.
Nice shots from Ninja. Could have easily gone right on over to Contra for the reversal. reversal. Now let's see what's going to happen here as he's trying to make his way over towards top center. Slow playing this one a little bit as Stellar picks up another kill. Not electing for the Spartan charge, instead getting a little bit of help from his teammate. Both of those splinter grenades aren't going to hit, but at least he trapped straight stick in between both of them. Now he's going to elect to fly in towards that base. Falcated, last guy alive in line of defense for Allegiance, even getting the pull if you're Ninja, but you need some more help, and that's going to be Lunchbox getting the grenade kill onto Devin. More kills going on over Roy and Stellar picking up Contra and Straight Stick. This is going to be tied up all 1-1. Great flag cap from EG.
Yeah, that was an awesome run. Ninja was taking no shields, even got shot a couple extra times on top of that, but he was able to crouch forward and get away with Lunchbox covering him to help secure and tie up this game 1-1 with this new railgun spawning. Nobody's been able to grab control of it yet, but the numbers advantage is going to go over to EG as we see Ninja taken out as well. It's 2 dead here for each team as Falcated and that member of EG both decide to back down, and it's pretty good timing here as Falcated pushes over to contest Lunchbox bottom center, and Contra's going to finish off the kill.
I thought Lunchbox was going to die to that assault rifle, but he did a nice job staying alive for just a little bit longer. Eventually gets shut down. It's just constant assault rifle battles every time we switch to someone's screen, but someone that doesn't have his assault rifle out is Devin because he has that camo and ends up getting spotted. So really heads up play by Lunchbox. You could have saw Devin easily get a pull and toss it out towards the window. Instead has to rotate back, and he's not getting any kills. So fantastic defense from EG, and that's one of the things that's been Lunchbox's MO for a really long time, is always playing the numbers game, calculated, and setting up on defense. That's the way that he's been so successful for so long.
I don't really like this spot out of Predevinator. Yeah, I mean, like, they knew and were expecting him to be there the entire time. He tried to take a new angle, but you could even see just based on how those players are moving on radar that they were terrified someone was hiding right around that corner, and they were prepared for it. He was not able to get any additional kills here with that camo, so essentially made completely useless over the course of that play.
It could be like eventually and essentially all tied up in one word, like
essentially. Yeah, I mean,
you could just make
so
it make
already
something.
to begin with.
It really is. But either way, Lunchbox with that railgun, I want to see what he's going to do because we're talking about how underrated he is as he continues to do so. Gets shot down over there. Devin finding him spot in this position of the map for quite some time now. Almost got that reversal on the Ninja when he was no shields, but does get shut down. So just constant back and forth, and we're seeing these teams actually pretty evenly matched.
Right, now we do have Contra here getting that top center positioning in a 1v1 with Lunchbox, who both have the light rifle. Lunchbox will force that player back. The Predevinator is going to push out, try to contest Ninja here. Now, great job by Contra, buying enough time to wait for his shields to come back, jump out, does get the shots there. That's 2 members down at least here now for Evil Geniuses as that new railgun just spawn here. Contra does finish off the kill. Lunchbox in another 1v1, grabs a trade. So that's 2 kills as last guy alive. Really big win here for EG in that situation. Ninja has that railgun. Didn't need to use it as that player was weak. I don't even think he knew he was sitting right in front of him that entire time. But regardless, that's going to secure a camo here. 536 for Ninja. As he grabs that, quickly drops down below the base. He's got players calling out his position. I like what he's doing here. Just being a distraction. Now there's 2 railguns here down on the map as well.
Yeah, so Ninja's going to have to elect whether he plays defense or offense here, and instead just charges right out into the middle of the open. Now, his teammate baited him a little bit. Now, I would like to see one of his teammates distract, because very similar when you have railgun, it's just like when you have rockets. You never want to be the first person or furthest person pushed up on your team. You have to have people that go out in front of you that you're able to bait and draw players out for the enemy team. So, not Ninja's fault there that he ended up dying, and just a nice job by Allegiance eagle-eyeing him.
Right, now Roy's going to try to take over that position top center. No camo or railgun here for a little while, so he can just use this height advantage here, try to pick up a few additional kills. Gets in that 1v1 with Straight Sig. Ooh, does grab that last shot kill. Thought Straight Sig probably should have won that one, if anything. Was not able to finish it off. That's Predevinator with the railgun as he ultimately gets taken out by Ninja. Got players dying left and right. Great defense overall here by Allegiance, so staying alive. And wow, Stellar with the reversal. Perfect on Contra. That's not what you want to do if you're Contra in that position. You need to stay alive, lock down that treehouse, and then help out and assist your teammates.
Yeah, I wonder if Contra got stuck or something like that in the window. He just got caught up there and wasn't expecting to lose that one with the height advantage, especially when Contra known as one of the better shooters in the game, especially when he's locking down a certain position. But I don't know, Kyle, we've seen this one go back and forth so much. I wouldn't doubt if this one would go to overtime, and we know that Ninja and EG, they're no strangers to that.
All right, now Ninja is out of Railgun here, is fighting and contesting some players of Allegiance in front of the base. Lunchbox is getting shot out now. He will ultimately be taken out by Falcated. You still have top center being locked down by Roy, as there will be some call-outs by Falcated over to that position. You got the new Railgun going over to the hands of Stellar, and map positioning and control still over to EG.
Falcated versus the world over here on the porch, taking on numerous players, laying down damage, dodging railgun shots, fighting people that are just sitting, baiting, and switching towards that camo, and ultimately staying alive and trying to get a kill on a priority target over here. So he's just drawing so much attention. I'm wondering what the rest of Allegiance is doing in order to make up for the amount of ground that he's covering.
Now he doesn't have a whole lot of ammo here, and it's not going to matter, as it's enough to get a few shots down and then a melee kill. So he will also have Railgun in his hands as Lunchbox is pushing over, trying to contest his player. Doesn't get the kind of bounce he was initially looking for, but he does dodge the Railgun shot. Almost the Ninja here, but you know, camo and Railgun, things like that, I don't know if I'm going to count it quite that way.
Yeah, I mean, if you have camo and you ninja someone, is it really a ninja because you were invisible? I don't know, but either way, it was a nice play by Lunch, and he's pretty much the big player on the map right now for EG to try to get something going, and completely whiffs on that play, and that's going to allow Allegiance to get right back into it.
Yeah, I missed melee, missed shots on a no shields player. That was a good opportunity for Allegiance to try to get some map control. It is tied 1-1 right now, still 2:45 left in regulation. However, if this game does continue to be tied, we will go into a 3-minute overtime. Roy picking up 2 big kills here for the team as he is going to push into the base. Lunchbox is going to be able to pull the flag as well, getting some shots out on this player at Silo. They have the other 2 players in the base with him. He's not going to be able to get a kill though.
It's weird to see them get that flag pull when not much is going in on the map. That seems a little bit forced, and you got to be worried when you're trying to get a flag like this that leave yourself susceptible for a possible counter pull. But fortunately for Evil Geniuses, nobody in that position, and Lunchbox having superior control right now of the entire Fathom area, so he can just sit there top center and lay down shots. And looks like he's going to elect to push in for the flag because a couple people ended up dropping, and as he does so, everyone's spawning in the base. So not the ideal spawn for the Evil Geniuses team. They would like to see everybody on Allegiance trapped over in the silo, and also Ninja needed to stay alive in there. So Contra not only getting the kill onto Ninja, doing an even better job getting a kill onto Lunchbox and shutting that push coming out from EG down.
All right, now Stellar does have the railgun in his hands. There's 3 players. You can see him in the outlines shooting at him like that. A 4th player will be able to grab the kill there on straight 6, trying to just delay as long as possible and stay alive. Not going to be able to finish that off. However, Ninja will get a flag pull and a kill. That's going to put Railgun over in the hands of Predevinator, who misses the shot, gets taken no shields, but is not going to be cleaned up, and he will go ahead and return the flag here for Allegiance.
Yeah, nobody on the side of Evil Geniuses, as you see Contra doing a nice little thrust jump over towards top center, misses it, and that's going to cost him his life eventually. So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's a great, nice jump, and it's pretty flashy, but unless you can hit 100% of the time, maybe not try to pull it off in the Pro League. I'm sure he does hit it at least 95% of the time, but unfortunate turn of events for him, and now Evil Genius is trying to take advantage of that by pushing up towards the top. And we haven't seen the cleanest game from Roy. Typically, we see him constantly hitting his shots over here, so expecting him to progress as this one goes on. And there it is, Contra with the reversal, and a couple players for Evil Geniuses dropping could allow Allegiance to push into the base.
All right, now Shadesick is pushing up, getting some shots down here on Stellar, who's trying to prevent that flag from being run. You got another player in the base, Falcated there. 2 players pushing back to try and contest. They know EG is going to be going for a flank or looking for a flag grab here. Lunchbox does grab a shot, grab a kill, but Shadesick with some nice shots there will take that player out. Roy's in the base. You got Stellar in the pit here. If he's able to grab this kill, he does grab it on Stellar. It's going to put Roy, last guy alive, in the base. He's going to be taken out. Only 1 member of EG. That's going to be Ninja pushing across the base. You do have players coming off spawn. Lunchbox trying to contest now, but they're just dying 1 at a time.
Oh my gosh, no, sloppy shots coming out from Straysick. This one's just sitting there. It gets caught on the wall. Are they going to be able to put it in? No, it's just sitting on the flag. Little reminiscence of what happened over there in the summer finals. Looks like Contra trying to push in over there. This flag is going to be returned by Evil Geniuses, or I think it is, and this one's also being pulled at the same time. As you can see, flag away sitting at the top of Devin's screen. The counter cap comes in, but it's not over quite yet, guys. It wasn't next flag capture wins. As you know, in overtime, it plays the entire 3 minutes, so Legion's still in this game.
Yeah, I mean, and Evil Geniuses was just literally seconds away from winning the game. Actually, no, Allegiance was the ones really seconds away from winning because they almost put that flag cap in before time expired. They were not able to do so, and then it's a counter cap going over to Evil Geniuses, so you can see just how much of a game of seconds and milliseconds this can be here sometimes.
Straight Stick needed to either hit his shots with the pistol in that scenario or switch on over to his assault rifle and finish that kill. That was one of the biggest kills of the game that had to go either way. And it's unfortunate because it was a kill that needed to be executed flawlessly based on, you know, how the amount of time that he had. It had to be a perfect or a very fast kill, and that just wasn't the case. So now Evil Genius is in prime position to win this game.
Ooh, Lunchbox has no shields here in front of the base. They're working on getting a return. They will go ahead and be able to put that one back there. So it's going to give Legion some more time here to try to work on securing a capture. Roy's over in the base with the light rifle, trying to work with Stellar here. He's in a fight with Contra, who does pick up that kill with a melee. Roy, rather than focusing on that guy on Silo, decides to challenge, and he is going to get destroyed by Straight Stick.
Yeah, but the amount of pressure that he added is pretty good, all things considered. It's a very similar situation which happened in the previous game, in the previous series, which ended on CTF Fathom between E6 and Optic, where you saw Snakebite just pretty much playing the time. Now, Evil Genius is pretty much in that same exact type of situation. As you can see, Allegiance, they're getting desperate. They have to fly in towards the flag and try to get something going, because it's not like if they have it pulled, you know, at 1 second, they can continue to push into a second overtime. They have to have that flag in Kyle and get that pulled around that 15-second mark, just like we saw Lethal do against Envy.
All right, now if these two teams do tie at the end of this overtime, we will be going into a full replay, which means Allegiance does have to secure one more capture if they have any chance of getting a second round or a second matchup replay to try to steal this game one victory, and it's not looking good so far, as it's just constant trades back and forth here. You got Ninja with a trade there on Falcated, you had the trade top center, you got Roy just sitting on his flag here playing some defense with his light rifle in that 1v1. He's gonna get some help from Lunchbox, who secures that kill. That's Straight Stick pushing up all by himself. He had literally no help from anyone else in his team.
He's been doing that for the last minute and a half now, just trying to force something inside of the Evil Genius's base, but Evil Genius is not going to allow that to happen. They realize that they pretty much stole this game. That last flag cap, like you said, Kyle, was going in. Allegiance was on the verge of being up 1-0 in this series, and I just don't think that's enough time for Allegiance to make their way into the base. You can see they're just trying to get desperate in here. They have to get that touch. Falcated and Devin do make their way into the base, but just a little bit too late. Not physically impossible or mathematically impossible for them to be able to capture that flag in 4 seconds.
All right, and this is yet another trade happens here. No flag touch is going to do anything. Let's take a look at some of these kills here. We got Stellar. Talked about him before, not putting up his big numbers since he joined this team, but it looks like they've been able to work out some of those kinks as he's dropping 35 kills and a flag capture. He got 3 30 bombs across this board here. On the other hand, Allegiance, nobody breaking into that 28 kill mark, but pretty even across the board for them.
Yeah, they stole one right there. I mean, that was Allegiance's game. They had that final flag capture going in. Straight Stick had to secure the final kill. Didn't happen. Lunchbox got the assault rifle kill. They got the return, and then not sure who put that flag in. I think it could have been Ninja, but either way, just a great team effort and resiliency coming out from Evil Geniuses. You said it earlier, Kyle, the never say die mentality. Everybody has to have it because how close and even all of these teams are here in the fall season.
Right, we saw lots of railgun kills here this game, and you know, just watching that, the story of Allegiance's life this season has been exactly what we just watched in that game. Be it moments away from taking a victory and then end up losing the game. It's been essentially week 1, week 2, every single week these guys are experiencing the same thing, and this sums it up here right now. Just all those players jumping in, grabbing the flag, and not being able to actually cap it. So Allegiance coming off another narrow loss here in overtime play against Evil Geniuses. And it's been
narrows?
Narrow loss.
Just kidding.
And of course, like Allegiance, you got to feel bad for them too, because they are such a good team. Now, there are a lot of mistakes where we saw, though, you know, looking at Evil Geniuses playing so much defense here for that team and essentially messing up too. You know, Straight Stick charging out by himself several different times. You're not going to be able to push across the map on Fathom, especially when you're not even on a flank. Like, that was a straight charge. It wasn't like coming up through, you know, across the map through Treehouse into Elbow. That was across, like running across the map to get into the base, and then you're just going to find yourself in that 3v1 situation. And then what does Evil Geniuses do? They pick up the kill, and then they just answer back with the numbers advantage.
Reminds me of when I was little trying to play tag at night and hide and go seek with light up shoes. Just doesn't work.
All right, now we do have the players sitting up here in game number 2. That is Slayer on the rig. You've got the Plasma Caster here. You've got a Sniper. 50 kills to win, like we said. There's also going to be that camo there on the map. Now, we've seen Allegiance lose this game already. Like we talked about it before, that was the game number 5 for these two teams last time they matched up. but we've also seen Allegiance, suicide in games and essentially throw away their victories that they could have had. So it'll be good to see if they're able to work out any of those kinks here and try to force this series to go a little bit longer.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at what Stellar is doing right now, the newest addition to this squad. And he's going with the assault rifle, going for this plasma caster. And if they can, get a little bit of momentum, this, in my opinion, is Ninja's best game type. So I want to see what he's doing more than anybody throughout the rest of this thing. But right now we're seeing what Roy has in store for us, and that's the shotgun sitting in his back pocket. And this is a pretty solid start right now, but you want to get over towards that bunker area as you rotate over here, and Falcade is just going to get the pick. So everybody in Evil Genius is stuck over there towards the nest, and now it's like, hey guys, thanks for giving away my positioning. I'll just jump off with this snipe.
All right, that's a good job by Ninja to actually get that off the map too here. That's going to allow Contra now to have that plasma caster he's going to pick up off the ground here by that SMG spawn. And you have 2 players over by Sniper Hallway, including Stellar running around towards Nest. Going to trade some kills there. Allegiance does have the lead. 3-kill lead as Straight Sick dies to Roy, who is going for that ground pound. Roy does a good job actually finishing off that kill.
Yeah, let's see what Falcade is able to do with this plasma caster. We've seen so many Rig Slayers in Game 5 here for Allegiance, and now it's a Game 2, so maybe the pressure a little bit relieved over here. And as we were talking, Kyle, before the matchup in the previous Week 1, Day 1, it was 50-42 for Evil Geniuses, so Allegiance looking to get revenge.
Oh, and Falcade gets taken out as Lunchbox does a great ground pound to get Tower 1 after being taken no shields, hiding over towards that rail spawn. Good job being a distraction for his team, grabbing some kills and helping to close this gap a little bit here. You do have most of Allegiance trapped over towards BR base, but as you see, they just pick up, or Falcade just gets a melee kill there on Roy. Still 4-kill lead here as 3 members are fighting over by the barrels, and Allegiance is coming out ahead once again.
Yeah, I think that Roy and Lunch are going to have to use a little bit of their instinct to get back into this one, and not sure where the turning point for Ninja and the squad is going to be, but Allegiance looking solid.
Yeah, I mean, some twins and besties over there as that new camo comes up. Contra's going to go and take that one. Gets a melee, and they finish off the kill. Now, that was the Evil Genius is essentially suiciding in the base to make sure that camo player dies. I do like that play, essentially, just to keep it out of their hands. As you can see, generally, camo player is able to do a lot more damage than just that 1 kill. And Straight Sick finish off that kill as Plasma Caster is put to good use here by Falcade.
Yeah, that was just an all-out ambush over there in the Whitehall, Kyle. And now we have Falcade over here with the Plasma Caster looking for players on the Evil Geniuses squad. Is he going to be able to find anyone is the question. Someone dancing on top of his head. Now he dances back on top of their head, giving him a taste of his own medicine, and they eventually kill each other.
Yeah, some ring around the rosy action there, and this is Evil Geniuses needing to take this victory here. They were known as a dynasty before, but they're not quite at that same level as what we've seen in the past, and you cannot be losing to teams like Allegiance if you are trying to make that statement.
Yeah, and Roy just straight ripping it up over here towards the top engine side, but it's not going to be enough for these guys, and that's a 6-kill lead. It's going to be up to Ninja to try to get these guys back into it, and he does have the sniper rifle, so this is a good opportunity for these guys to stay on board with him.
Yeah, so we'll see if he's able to put this weapon to use. We've seen it time and time again. Ninja drop so many giant number bombs or positive bombs essentially here on this map, just running around with the sniper rifle, hitting those no scopes, just sniping and ripping faces left and right. He is zoomed in here, hits the 1, gets a second 1 or melee shot. He will be taken out. That's Stellar going to be the one to finish off that kill and grab that sniper. He does have to reload it, but he's being quickly collapsed upon. As you see, Straight Sick picks up that kill. That's going to put the sniper now over in the hands of Falcade, as he's got sniper shotgun here, one of those Royal 2 combos going on.
Yeah, this is a perfect position for Falcade to be in, and it looks like he's going to drop the shotgun for one of his teammates, even though none of his teammates are in the vicinity. So I'd like to see him pick that one back up, and he does. So right when he does, one of his teammates comes back over, so a little bit of an awkward situation there. And now Lunchbox flying in with the Plasma Caster, and now it's only a 5K, make that a 5-kill lead right now for Allegiance.
I mean, you see Roy pushing into the base here. He was going to try to collapse on Predevinator, but Lunchbox with that Plasma Caster already picks up that kill. Roy with the sniper is shooting to kill right now. He is not missing these. He's doing a great job, and he's going to bounce back to try to lock down bunker.
Yeah, this is, the dream scenario for Roy. Again, you have the shotgun, you have the sniper rifle. Just wait for these guys to come to you. but you need to get someone over towards the top tower area, because if anyone comes towards the barrels for Allegiance right now, you're going to be a little bit out of position. But fortunately for him, they're all charging towards bottom SMG. However, he's not in shotgun range anymore, not able to do enough damage, and now it's a 3-kill lead for Allegiance and Control.
And Lunchbox trying to do what he can with the Plasma Caster there, but he's going to be taken out. That's going to put the game 31-34, still extremely close. Another minute or so before we see Overshield come up. Ninja's just gonna walk around, find the sniper and the shotgun down here towards SMG. Nobody from Allegiance pushed back on that. They're all pushing across the map over here towards the Carbine area of the map here. 3 people over in Snipe Hall now.
Yeah, Ninja's had this weapon a couple times. We've seen this combo just change from hands to hands. The question is who's going to be able to go on a spree with this and try to either get the lead for their team and build on it, or just try to bring it back over here. It looks like Stellar's going to be the one that tries to do so with the grenade and the DMR. So now Ninja just looking for kills, not able to find so, going to have to reposition back on the map. But that's a good sign for Evil Geniuses when your players without the weapons are picking up the kills. So let's see if Ninja can land this shot or possibly challenge this kill. Looks like Lunchbox is going to come over there. Nice grenade from Ninja to get that hit marker and weaken that player, and using this sniper rifle to really solid effect as he's trying to get the new ammo.
Yeah, I mean, even if you hit those body shots, you are going to be pushing those players back and preventing them from being able to contest you or any of your teammates. Now, that is Evil Geniuses taking the lead here now, about to be a 3-kill lead. Oh, as Predeminator has some great shots to kill Ninja, who had that shotgun, wasn't able to finish off the kill. However, still 2-kill lead here for Evil Geniuses as we have a 1v1 going on. Lunchbox is looking to push over and challenge, but Falcated, great communication from Falcated and Predeminator backing up to finish off that kill.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at what Roy's going to be able to do. Now he's sitting over here towards the top tower area, but you have the sniper rifle in straight 6 hands, and this is a classic position to be in if you're straight sick, sitting over here towards that BR, very similar to a Strongholds game type, just letting them come to you while you hold that nest in basement.
Right, I see Evil Geniuses is really pushed up here as well. Straight Sick is going to have to hit some shots. They're going to be able to hold off this aggression and this push. There's no opportunities for mistakes as we're so close to the end of this game, and you know, we're not going to be seeing another camo up probably for the rest of it.
Definitely not. It's all in straight 6 hands over here. He's the primetime player for the side of Allegiance. They need to keep him alive as long as possible, and it looks like Evil Genius is on board with trying to get him taken out, and they do so. So that's going to be a 3-kill lead now for EG, and this kind of came out of nowhere when it seemed like Allegiance, they were so into this game. All of a sudden, EG just turns it on towards the end.
Yeah, and we'll try to see where we can find out where that sniper ended up here. Straight Sick now pushing towards the outside of the map. I like this decision, just back up. Yeah, Predeminator with the shotgun grabs the kill there. Now we're all tied up. Just over 4 minutes left to play. Of course, this is Team Slayer. Now there is also overtime in this game type if it were to be tied here. But with it being so close to ending, only being the 50 kills, I don't see an overtime happening. I see both these teams slowing it down, waiting for the next round of weapons.
Yeah, you gotta, believe the hype if you're these teams right now, and just keep your heads up and triggers down, because it's coming down to that crunch time. Who's going to be able to pull it off? We've seen Ninja in these situations so many times, and we've seen Allegiance. They faltered in these scenarios, so it's going to come down to clutch time.
I mean, essentially, Allegiance has Bunker locked down. You've got Evil Geniuses with Carbine locked down. I mean, Carbine locked down, so you just see lots of back and forth action here as you do Evil Geniuses taking that first kill, and Ninja pushing in with the Plasma Caster. He will be taken out. That's 49.
Wow.
However, Stellar's got a sniper rifle. He does not see that Contra is near him, but their players are collapsing on who is that? Falcated Whitehall. There's a camo, there's a sniper rifle. He's just trying to stay alive as best as possible. Lunchbox with the perfect shots will go ahead and end that one. EG Lunchbox, 15 kills, only 9 deaths, leading the stats here across both teams as far as who's the most positive. Ninja 9 and 14, so it is a little bit negative, but not that big of a deal when you come out and secure that victory there. On the other end, Straight Sick really up to kind of a rough start, as we haven't seen him really have any of the great games that we've seen from him in like the summer season.
For sure. So that's going to be, another heartbreaking loss for Legions, and that seems to be the story of the fall season for these guys. Unfortunately, just so many close games, but not able to walk away with the victories. As you see, 2-0 right now, extremely close games both times. Easily could have went over to Allegiance. Now we're moving into Rick Strongholds, and it makes me wonder if that may be sitting a little bit in the back of their head because it's going to be the same map.
Yeah, I mean, that is a rough way to go out. As soon as I saw the game coming down to the wire there, I almost knew Evil Geniuses was just going to win it because that's been the downfall of Allegiance the entire time. Close game, they just fall apart and lose at the end. And a lot of that came from Stellar, too, who had some of those clutch snipes towards the end of that game. Lunchbox was doing work the entire time, obviously most positive like we talked about. And EG's communication is really on par or, with the best of them right now. You can just see the way they move around the map, the way they focus on some of those power weapons and power ups. Now, like you said, Tom, we are heading into Strongholds on the rig. It is 100 points to win. Evil Geniuses does have a 2-0 lead over Allegiance now, so this is really Allegiance's last-ditch effort to bring both this series back, maybe a turnaround to their season. Regardless, even if they're not going to make it to finals, you want to end with the best record possible here, and just make sure that you know yourself that you can compete with these teams. And keep in mind, even if you're not making it to finals, you can still compete in some of these open events as well. So even if you're not going to compete in the finals, you can still go and win money.
So Contra baiting that camo for quite a long time, ends up ground pounding, down towards the trenches. Looks like it's going to be a basement rotation now for Allegiance as they try to double cap this with their two most important players on the map right now. As you have a player trying to contest this with the shotgun, does get taken out. So nice job by Falcated and Contra to take down Roy. And yes, that was a sweaty Slayer match. Somebody get me some deodorant.
And Falcated picks up the shotgun kill there on Ninja, who's trying to push across. Contra still with the railgun. I like that jump to quickly get in position. Will catch Ninja off spawn and bunker. Make that a double kill as he finishes off in no shields. Lunchbox. They know there's a player still over here top tower as Falcated is fighting him and pick up the victory there on Roy. Players still spawning over here in bunker. Ninja almost gets taken out for a third time in a row here by Contra, but he will barely miss that shot.
Love how Contra's playing this one. Needs to try to get back over towards that overpass area and lay some more pressure. There it is on the players that are going to be spawning in the bunker again. Just such an annoying spot to be in. So as soon as he chucks that splinter grenade, you'd have to assume that based on the placement, everyone would charge over towards top engine side on the side of Evil Geniuses. And look, that's what happens. There goes a nest bridge push for Evil Geniuses, all because of the splinter grenade Contra laid down. Nobody on Allegiance, though, able to follow up and maybe not communicating over towards their teammates that that's where the push was going to come from.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Genius is doing a great job at taking advantage of any benefits that they see. So essentially, they saw a grenade come out of Contra, who was sitting over on that lookout, and once they knew his position, they were able to get some shots down. Now, he poked out just a little bit too far. Falcated got taken out. They had a numbers advantage and quickly put it to use. That's going to put control back in their favor as they were able to secure that nest, and now they just get to rotate back and forth here, trying to do the same thing that Allegiance is doing to them.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to win this game, obviously, down 2-0 if you are Allegiance. But EG, this is what we were talking about. It's after so many losses in a row, to face up against this Allegiance team and to be able to win these close games is really big for them, because, Kyle, if they drop these games, you can just imagine what would happen to their confidence. They're already on the verge of possibly being in that relegation conversation when they really personally feel, and all their fans do, that they deserve to be in that top 4 conversation. And it's just a tale of which Evil Geniuses is going to show up. So if they can continue to, fight this series off and fight off Allegiance and get some confidence for them, it's going to be, a little scary for the rest of the league, but just great for Halo in general, because when these guys are playing at a really high level, they're fun to watch.
Ooh, and look at these stats there. Straight Sick, only 1 kill. Falcated, 11 kills already for this team. We've talked about how well he's been playing here. A lot of these new guys, the Denoxides, the Falcated, putting up some big numbers for these teams, and that's exactly why they got recruited by all these veteran players and things. They know the talent that they see, and we're starting to see these players really develop.
Definitely. So Roy with that battle rifle, always been one of the best with this weapon since Halo 2. Don't want to challenge him in this type of scenario. And if I was him, I would just be either trying to lock down this area right here, which is the Whitehall, or just set up over towards the Carbine area and just lay down the cover fire for the players that are going towards that nest bridge. But Allegiance somehow able to get that. Are they going to cough up too many deaths though at the same time is the question. It looks like that's going to be the case.
Ooh, and players dying left and right there. Control over in the hands of Allegiance, but they still have a long way to go if they're looking to bring this one back. It's looking for Nest to quickly go back over in the hands of Evil Geniuses as Lunchbox just barely touches his feet back in to make sure that that does in fact get secured. Falcated trying to push out, but he's going to get pushed back towards that SMG spawn. See Ninja going up to that lookout point. They are starting to get a good pressure down. Lots of contesting here. Now you do see a trade between Lunchbox and Falcated. Falcated. Pretty good trade for Lunchbox considering they have control, and I think he had SMG as well, so essentially being down in that position. But Ninja trying to contest Cody or Contra here, who has that railgun, decides just to back off here for a minute. They can focus on a triple cap. Lunchbox is over at basement here and is contesting, keeping him out of the hill, and that's another triple cap with only Nest now being taken.
I like that play from Ninja. I think either one necessarily works. They're racking up points. That's always a good thing. Giving up your map positioning, it's questionable whether or not that's always the right decision, but either way, it looks like it worked out for them. However, it's going to be Allegiance getting that railgun, and I believe they picked up the camouflage and both of the strongholds over towards that nested basement as well. So triple cap not lasting very long, and Contra could have potentially had a 2-for-1, but Roy comes around the corner and shuts that down. So big play by Roy to try to get EG right back into this one.
Yeah, Evil Genius is doing a fantastic job working together to shut down Contra. He had a player hiding below him essentially the entire time, just below Tower 1, waiting for an opportunity for that player to be distracted and make a charge. He does exactly that with the rest of his teammates' help and does secure that kill. A lot of action going back and forth here. Now Allegiance does regain some map control, but Roy is in a good position to try and contest this as he's working on getting control of this carbine area, which will also affect your teammates' spawns.
Yeah, so this is the position that I wanted to see Roy in before, but he has to go over here and charge instead because of the fact that BR and Nest in control of Allegiance now, so he would ideally want to just be sitting back and laying down fire, but looking for a Ninja right now is Straight Sick, not able to hit the melee, instead able to hit some really nice strafes onto Roy, which created some sloppy shots for the Borg, and that's very, very untypical for him. So nice job by Straight Sick with his left joystick.
Yeah, lots of good left joystick movement action there, but we got shotgun over in the hands of Falcated. That's going to put a triple cap. You have the new railgun coming up. That's going to go over to the hands of Stellar. Evil Geniuses is double capping the BR base, so we'll stop some of the bleeding here. Falcated is in a good position. You do see Stellar with the railgun, pushes across, grabs 1 kill with some help with Contra and Predeminator. They're going to put 3 members down again, and they're quickly closing this gap.
Yeah, Falcated just needs to lock down barrel side. Only has 1 more shot, but Stellar ends up going in there with the railgun. Is that going to open up the barrel side of the map for Evil Geniuses, or where are they going to charge from is the question. Now Contra, he's got a long flank going on, but the big deal is that everyone from Evil Genius is already charging in. However, Devin shuts that down, looking for the triple kill, double kill with the shotgun, looking for Lunchbox. There goes Contra with the rotation. So that flank did pay off for Contra because of the fact that Devin was locking that side of the map down, but they got to be careful and make sure that they don't overextend a little too much.
Yeah, you can't always rely on one of your teammates to pick up a 1v2 double kill, and that's exactly what Predeminator was able to do here for Allegiance. And they still have the rest of Evil Geniuses spawning over here at the BR base. As 1 member for Evil Geniuses is taken out, this is going to buy them a lot of time. The Evil Geniuses needs to wait for that spawner. It looks like Roy's going to come off spawn here on Carbine, so look at that split spawn, but that's not where you're going to want to be when you got a shotgun player waiting for you.
Devin just locking this side of the map down. Pretty impressive so far. Just continuing to stay alive for an extremely long time. And it doesn't seem like anybody's getting any lucky spawns for Evil Geniuses either. It looks like that Carbine side of the map is open, but they're just continuing to pop up over towards that bunker area. There goes the open field spawns for Allegiance. Now, it's pretty much been Devin's job to continue to hold the barrels area, and then we're not seeing the rest of what's going on towards that nest area right now, because as you can see, Evil Genius is making their push over there because they realize, all right, Devin is on a killing spree. He has the shotgun. We can't go towards there over and over again and just give him free kills.
Ooh, and Predeminator with the great perfect shots there on the player or Ninja to take him out at Carbine spawn. Now they do have control back over using BR base and nest here, but without basement being controlled, Ninja coming off spawn once again gets in a fight with Predeminator, throws 2 good splinter nades, but not good enough to actually secure the kill. And Predeminator especially and actually the whole Allegiance squad really shutting Ninja down right now.
They are, and Devin's just had a fantastic run of events here. He hasn't died in such a long time. It's been a couple minutes at least. And while all this is happening, EG just scrambling around the map, and they're allowing Allegiance to get right back into this one. And that's what you want to see if you're an Allegiance fan, because of the fact that both of these games were so close. You would assume that they would have just, you know, allowed EG to get right back into it, allowed them to keep the pressure on. But look at Falcated, 25 bomb. Fantastic display of kills, especially considering Devin only had 15 and he went on that insane spree at the end.
Yeah, I think I know who I'm going on board with next game of who we're watching, is we've not been giving Falcated enough love, especially if he's dropping numbers like this. Take a look at some of these match highlights here. We saw a lot of great things out of Allegiance and Evil Geniuses. It's actually kind of surprising because I thought Evil Geniuses was a little bit more coordinated on some of those pushes, but that's probably just because we weren't watching enough of Falcated, as he was essentially completely shutting them down, having 25 kills, almost 10 kills more than the next highest member of your team. It takes a long time to pick up 10 kills in a game.
All right, I know it's a little early for this, but last week, what happened? Evil Geniuses, they went up 2-0.
Oh.
What happened? They lost, okay?
Yeah.
Different team this time, obviously. But look at these game types. Coliseum, CTF, Eden Slayer. Both very, very winnable game types for Allegiance. So it's definitely possible, especially with how much slaying power that they have. If they can get some weapons in their hands, maybe the rockets, maybe the sniper in straight 6-hand, and then again on Eden, tons of possibilities because you do have those weapons. So I don't know. It's definitely possible. I thought that this was going to be a 3-0, but history could repeat itself. We've seen these scenarios pan out in crazier ways.
But I don't know if Allegiance wants history to repeat itself, because these are the guys that go to Game 5 all the time and they just cannot pull out a victory. So
Yeah,
that would be something to see if they go up and they end up losing by 1 kill or something again in a Game 5. But, at the very same time, what a story to be told if they are able to go to another Game 5 here and actually steal that victory on Evil Geniuses, essentially taking Evil Geniuses out of the running. For finals.
One of the things that we forgot to talk about was that Allegiance, when they started this season, was an amazing Strongholds team as well. I think they started the season off 5-0 in terms of actual Strongholds victories, win-loss percentage. And now I think in the previous series, when these guys matched up, they won both of the Strongholds to make it 3-2. It was the only 2 game types that they won. So if you're an EG fan, relax, not the end of the world. But if you're Allegiance, you got to be feeling good because you picked up that win. You're starting to play good on Strongholds again. And also you've played these first 2 games of the series very competitive as well.
And if you've got Falcated on your fantasy stats there, you got to be pretty happy as the kid's dropping some monstrous numbers here. And he may very well be the X factor here that we see to defeat this Evil Geniuses lineup. And Stellar is doing everything he can to prevent that from happening, as we saw a lot of great things from him in that game. But 25 kills, stats don't lie sometimes there, Tom. And Falcated proving that one of the most improved players, and absolutely out here to win, and really putting the rest of the team to shame as far as what he's been able to do here. With some of these games being so close and what he's able to pull off, some of these close matches that he's able to win, it's really impressive.
What's even more impressive is how he did it without being noticed, really. I mean, we're typically, we have 2 screens going on. I'm always scrolling through to see who's having a fantastic performance, but he did it without weapons very often. He continued to, we saw what happens when Devin gets the shotgun, what happened with that spree. Falcated, it was all just individual, fast plays, fighting 2v1s, getting into situations that he shouldn't have been able to live in, and he did, and laid down damage at the same time. So that's a scary thing. And again, going into CTF Coliseum, so many weapons on the map, such great shooters, such individual talent from Allegiance. Can they finally put it together? I don't know. We'll see. They've been playing Evil Geniuses very tough so far tonight.
Yeah, in that last game, we were on board with camo, railgun, and shotgun the majority of the game. And not once did we see those weapons in the hands of Falcated. So the fact that he was able to get all of those kills and put out all that damage without having one of those trump cards being power weapons or power-ups, even the camo there, is impressive and speaks, milestones for essentially how far this kid's come since summer.
Are we talking politics? Is that what you said? I'm just kidding.
No idea what you're talking about. But either way, capture the flag on Coliseum. Tom, tell us about this one.
All right, so first 3 flag captures wins, guys. Game over. End of story. Rockets and sniper rifle. There it is. That's the sniper side of the map. What used to be where the battle rifle spawns, now the DMR. We still like to call it the BR, though. And then you have the plasma rifle sitting up over there towards that top catwalk area. And here it is, Falcated, the guy that dropped the 25 bomb before, looking for the scatter shot, and is going to find it. Now the question is he going to help over towards the rocket side or go over towards the grass area? And it looks like he's going to slow play this one over towards the elbow. As soon as he sees Devin picking up a couple kills, he likes to push up, and the world's most powerful scatter shot. There it is, guys. Welcome to the world of Falcated.
There's got to be some sort of a cheat code, because I don't think I've ever had, I've had like 1 or 2 scatter shots actually kill somebody in one shot, whether or not I'm zooming in on their face. space or I'm sitting 10 feet away, not zoomed in. I don't know sometimes about this.
I gotta say, I had an opportunity to watch your screen yesterday while you were playing, and I thought that you know, my first impression before I started watching you was, I was like, Kyle. Oh, lunchbox.
Oh, he could have hit another one.
He could have. But going back to watching you play, I was just like, you know what? Kyle really exceeded my expectations. I'm not going to say, I originally, before the snipes, I think Lunchbox saved me. I got saved by the snipe. Was going to say what my expectations were going to be, but you had the most kills in the game with, like, Ola was in the game, and
I beat Lethal at APG the other night in matchmaking. I beat a bunch of the open circuit players. I got 2 overkills yesterday. I'll still put down some numbers.
If you guys see the gamer tag Elamite Warrior when you play up on Xbox Live, be able when you get a kill on him, make sure that you give his body a couple extra taps just to make sure he's dead.
Everyone already got that memo. That already happens all the time. I have people, at least every other game, somebody's running behind me, throwing nades at my feet, and just shooting me in the back. So yeah, no lack of that there in online matchmaking.
So here we have Lunchbox, who was the star in game number 2, I think it was, Kyle. Really looking solid so far, especially with his shots. Now, does have the scatter shot in a really awkward position because his teammates just died, so he's going to probably want to try to get a kill or 2 and then eventually push in. But this is a good spot considering the fact that the rockets are coming up soon, so Contra has no idea. So nice job by Lunch. If they can get a couple more kills, he should be able to run this flag. I'd still like to see him pull it anyway.
Right, and he does do a good job of getting that flag out here. He's still got the scatter shot. Knows there's players sitting over here towards DMR. Not going to be able to do much there, but nobody in position to get that flag return yet. We'll take a quick look at the numbers here. And he has Stellar working on a flank with the Rockets here. So he's going to buy some extra time. That flag is still out, but it will get returned now.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, guess who got those rockets? It's going to be Falcated, so he's going to be able to put in some serious work over here, and this is the position that you want to be in with the rockets as well. But look at Ninja just constantly running out on the map. If he hits this ground pound and gets the kill, that would be insane.
Way.
And he does. Ninja with the fantastic play on the guy who had such an amazing game on Rick's Strongholds.
Let's just talk about that play for a moment, because yeah, he just got ground pounded, not the worst thing in the world. No, that was actually really, really awful. Like, he had such a good advantage. He jumped up the top snipe to challenge it with the rockets, misses it, drops down, misses the opportunity again when the player is low, follows him up instead of running away, and then gets ground pounded, and then loses, not being killed by the ground pound, loses the 1v1. There were like 8 things that went wrong for him to get owned right there.
Yeah, I think the one thing that he did wrong was he went against Ninja in that situation. I feel like out of all 4 players for Evil Geniuses, Ninja most susceptible, most likely to pull that weird play out. But either way, the score is 0-0, and Allegiance, based on this game so far, I mean, I think that Evil Geniuses have had more opportunities, so you've got to be feeling good on the positioning that you currently have, especially if Contra can get up towards top catwalk with the sniper rifle. He's just sitting back right now because of the amount of pressure that's been added by Evil Geniuses. Eventually he's going to try to want to get into the cave on his screen, but I would like to see him actually go over towards top catwalk, because it's been known and said so many times of like the Royal 2 spot or whatever you want to call it. It's just the cave. So if anyone can get over there, that's good, but any positioning really works on this map. You don't have to feel like you always have to charge and get into that area. Not a big fan of him bringing it back to the base. I would like to see him again just get up towards top catwalk.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising. He's had a couple different opportunities where a player is literally on his screen. Of course, we have player outlines and he doesn't, but still, you need to be able to spot those players. You need to know where people are normally going to be. One of those spots is top catwalk. He didn't look there one time when he had an open line of sight for a headshot. So kind of some crucial mistakes there. Either way, he still hit some headshots. He still locked down this weapon, but Contra, you know, could have probably done a little bit more there with that weapon initially.
Ooh, nasty. As soon as he gets up towards the top catwalk, ends up getting the sick double, looking for the triple, not going to hit it. And that's going to be Ninja laying down some nice shots across the map, but is he going to be able to get the kill is the question. Roy does get one. Straight Six picks up another. Now it's a 2-on-2 scenario. I don't think that Straight Six is going to be able to push into the enemy base over there, and either is Contra, so they're going to have to fall back. Nice defense from Evil Geniuses. Are they going to be able to get this weapon out of Contra's hands, though? No, they aren't. So Contra looks like he's fully comfortable either going back to his base or just going over towards the rocket side of the map over here and just staying alive as long as possible. And we saw Royal 2 do that in the Optic Gaming series, where it's just like, oh, is it worth it staying alive that long? And it definitely is, guys. Weapons so crucial over here, especially with default weapons and radar continuing to be in the meta. So Contra just trying to play the numbers game over here and wait for his teammates to push in.
And that's got to be an annoying feeling from Roy. He's playing aggressive the entire time, comes off spawn, tries to just run over towards the opposing side of the base, and he realizes that Contra is sitting back of his flag with the sniper, where he's literally probably been the entire game just sniping in the back, and then Roy's going to eat another bullet there. And this is one of those times where you think, like, is this guy even going to be pushing out of his base at some point this game?
Well, this is one of those games where I feel like if Evil Geniuses was to win this, Roy is the type of person to be like, yeah, did you guys see Contra sitting in the back of his base stagging the whole time? Well, guess what? We pushed in and got the flag. And all those kills are great, but you have to have teammates that are going to be able to push in there and get some objective work done. However, with all that being said, I would be happy if I was Allegiance to even be in this series right now, and still, you know, it could have easily been a 3-0 victory for Evil Geniuses. Nice rocket from Falcated. That took that player down to no shields, which was stellar. And now he's in prime position because all he has to do is bait this. I wish we would have saved onto that rocket just a little bit longer. Now he's going to give away his positioning. Oh my gosh, not able to get any kills with those, and could have totally saved the game there for Allegiance.
And that was Falcated with those rockets, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Falcated, as soon as we go to his screen, they're seeing some kind of like really questionable plays, which is kind of surprising considering how big of numbers he's been able to put up. But, you know, that just goes to show you that working out a few kinks, improving a little bit, you know, watching some more of your own theater and VODs, you can just improve a lot as a player, so you still got a lot of room to grow.
Playing all rockets could always work too, and maybe when you play all rockets, everybody changes their gamertag to ninja and all tries to ground pound one another, and it would help. But either way, like I said, I would be happy if I was Allegiance to be in this scenario, because how not really good Evil Geniuses is playing. I think that they're playing kind of average compared to their standards, but the amount of pressure that's been happening to them this game, they haven't even gotten the flag very far so far for either team, really. So I think that it's going to come down to just 1 or 2 caps here, Kyle. If whatever team is going to be able to just get the slays when the time's coming, or possibly push in towards the elbow and get some sort of sneaky cap, that's going to be the team that wins.
Yeah, here we go. Falcated is over towards his elbow, grabs a Splinter Nade, is going to go and contest top rockets. We got about 15 seconds before this new weapon is going to spawn. Now make that a carbine and a scatter shot that he's going to use to try to lock down this weapon. Now there will be call-outs from Evil Geniuses. There's a player top rockets. You see 3 different people react to actually finish off that kill. That's not going to be good for Allegiance, as that rockets is about to spawn here now any moment, as Evil Geniuses is now getting a flag pull. They see, oh, he waited just a little bit too long, and they didn't know where they were coming from. Falcated was able to get a quick flank and then pick up the kill once again on Stellar here. So that's 2 dead now for Evil Geniuses on what was a great opportunity for a flag run, just a little bit too delayed.
Wow, I can't believe that he didn't get the trade on that
Ghost
kill.
melee, maybe?
I don't know. I even heard the melee, so that's very unfortunate, because now they get the return, and that flag's alive there for Allegiance. So Contra not able to get the touch, but there's 2 players going in and getting that one, and Falcated does eventually walk away with the flag. And then you have Devin and Straight Stick both caught out, no shield. Somehow Straight Stick gets a kill with a grenade while he was sprinting. That's going to be the first cap going on over to Allegiance. And as we're talking about, this could come down to 1 or 2 caps. However, it does look like EG in a decent spot, especially with Stellar picking up those kills to get a counter pull, and they're pulling the flag while getting the slays. So this could definitely be a 1-to-1 game after this. And you have Roy locking down the maze area with the scatter shot and top catwalk area under control as well. So a fantastic counter there for Evil Geniuses, all tied up 1-to-1.
Ooh, and scatter shot and sniper in the hands of Roy. 3 players potentially in position to get sniped by him. He does hit the first one there. Now he's getting call-outs. There's a player over here on his elbow. Will hit the second one. Another one in window.
Why?
Roy.
Come on, Roy. That's very un-Roy-like.
Yeah, that was like online matchmaking stuff. Not something you're going to do in the Pro League. That was a little bit, I don't want to say it's out of his skill range, but that's normally what I'd say if somebody tries to do something ridiculous to me like that. What that was is like, yo, bro, take it easy. It's a little bit out of your skill range here right now.
You won't say that to his face, Kyle. You won't.
I'll call him after the series and be like, yo, boy, what was that? That was the most suicidal thing I've ever seen.
That's all. Yeah. That's all it was. That was just trying to be a little bit too fancy. We get it. And you could thrust. We understand the mechanics in Halo 5 are absolutely crazy, but there's no reason to go and commit absolute suicide. But either way, tied up 1-to-1 here. And again, I think that if you're an Allegiance fan, you have to be happy with not just the series overall, but just the way that this game is going so far. I think that this is their style of game that they could walk away with. And look at Devin trying to get a clip of his own and eventually drops to the Rocket player. That Rocket goes right through Contra's feet. So nice midair split coming in from Contra. And are they going to be able to get the Rockets and possibly push into the EG base is the question.
Contra really looking for that sniper. Doesn't know, I guess it's out of ammo. Maybe thinking there was a rocket down. But either way, he's going to grab a BR, starting to push up here towards Cave. There knows there's a player still hiding in there, but the nades aren't going to get the bounces that they're looking for, as Lunchbox is going to wait for some help from Roy and then potentially be able to push out of the base. But Straightsick actually, with that new sniper rifle, has got something else to say about this. We've seen exactly how influential Straightsick can be in a game type once he has that sniper rifle. We've seen what he was able to do against Optic Gaming in the past here. He is having to back up as there's two players sitting and playing defense on the flag. Now, 1 minute left here in regulation. However, this game will go to overtime, just like we saw in that game number 1, should the score still be tied.
Straightsick shooting throwing a bunch of grenades, but not doing any damage with the grenades. So, yeah, Kyle, this one possibly going into overtime over here as you see EG trying to get that cap, but Contra picking up the double. Definitely going to stop that. I wouldn't even try to risk it here if I was Lunchbox because, yeah, you have your flag is being pulled over there towards that elbow, at least laying one shot onto the player, which I believe was Contra pulling that one, and he's going to slow play this one. So I thought that he could have pulled that pretty quickly, but it seems like someone for the side of Evil Geniuses came around the elbow side, I think Ninja, and shut that down. So possible counter cap going over here. As you said, Kyle, if it does go to overtime, it will be a 3-minute standoff here, and it won't go next capture win. It'll actually go the entire 3 minutes. So looks like that's going to be the case here. And now Stellar, last guy alive on this side of the map for Evil Genius, is going to have to back down because Legion's starting to charge.
Oh, and he does a great job backing down as long as possible, trying to stay alive. Falcated will go ahead and finish off that kill, although he will be taken out. Roy gets finished off by Predevinator. That's going to be 2 dead here now. Look at the kills. We've got Ninja just now breaking 30 kills here for Evil Geniuses. Predevinator doing a pretty good job maneuvering around, trying to avoid some of these shots. As Lunchbox drops down on him, Predevinator will be able to escape, but he is going to get into a 1v1 here with Roy, who is not going to be missing too many shots. We'll go and finish off that kill. Still 2.5 minutes left here to play in this overtime segment. If these two teams do tie, we will be looking at a full replay here after this game.
Yeah, looking like this is how it's going to be. I mean, this series has been back and forth. I want to see a Game 5 personally because how intense that would be, but I'm surprised to see how evenly matched both of these squads are. I was expecting Allegiance to put up a fight, but after this was down 2-0 again, I was not expecting such a strong performance coming from them in the Ridge Strongholds game. So you got to give hats off to these guys for continuing to put in this amount of effort, because Evil Geniuses, you know, they're firing on all cylinders right now. The communication from these guys has to be absolutely insane.
All right, Straightsick trying to get a flagpole. I mean, I like a lot of the aggression and things that he is trying to do, but there is too many solo pushes where he's just not able to fully capitalize on them. You do see the rest of Allegiance push through the base, but they left Ninja, who's sitting top catwalk, just laying down fire on them.
Ooh, Ninja had to charge that because he was out of ammo, and I thought that he was going to be able to get the kill with the assault rifle, but it looks like this flag in danger of being put in right now, and Evil Genius is only 1.5 minutes to respond. Still a decent amount of time. It's not like there's only 20 or 30 seconds here, so they can formulate a plan, and getting at least 1 kill onto Devin is going to be solid. And then Contra making his way over towards the cave. Roy staying alive too is pretty big, so that's multiple slays going over to Evil Geniuses. They could possibly make this work. Last guy alive, Contra, and he's making his way back to his base. That's not going to help out at all because he does get taken down. He needed to make his way over towards the enemy base, if anything. Into a 3-on-1 situation is not what you want to try to walk into. Falcated again too, so mispositioning for Falcated and Contra allows EG to get right back into this one. A couple touches going in here for Straightsick and squad, but no, they don't get the touch even. Wow.
Ooh, and just like that, what we thought was going to be a 1-1 tie is actually turning into 2-2 with 40 seconds left in this game. We've said it before, even if the flag is out, there will be no additional time added to the clock, which means both of these teams, if they're looking to capture a flag, need to have their flag at home and have a flagpole with about 15 to 20 second mark if you can run it the fastest way possible, and that's going to be run sprint throwing it out and trying to get it all the way over into your window. With that being said, and a stick coming out here onto Straightsick from Stellar, not looking good for either one of these teams to actually take home a victory in this game number 4, and we may be looking at a full replay here.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds, and is he going to be able to get that pull-out into the window? No. So, spoiler alert, guys, it's going to go into a replay, and just a fantastic job by both teams. I mean, especially Evil Geniuses at the very end there to constantly just keep players alive and get the flag pull. A minute left in the game, and they pull it off. So, I don't know. It's going to be a tough call, but I want to see a Game 5.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at some of the stats here, 35 kills out of Ninja, 34 kills out of Straightsick. So Straightsick really stepping it up here. One thing I wanted to point out, though, is Falke did 28 kills, 5 returns here for his team. So the kid
That's
was
not
all
enough
over
kills.
the
He had
objective.
25 kills in the previous game, and that wasn't a full 12-minute game or 15-minute game. So something's up with Falke. Why isn't he getting triple the amount of kills as everybody?
Yeah, he's slowing down now. He needs to put on the afterburners and step this up if he wants to steal this victory here and send that into a game number 5. Evil Geniuses has got to be feeling pretty good there, that considering they were down with just under a minute left and they were still able to capitalize there. They had a really good final push where they were able to essentially kill all 4 members of the team and then run that flag across. You saw Roy getting a perfect, bottom mid and a lot of great things. There's a good effort to contest that last and final flag cap, but too little too late from Allegiance, and Evil Geniuses still proving that they have a shot at this.
Yeah, well, we hope that you guys like Coliseum, because guess what? We're going right back.
We are going back into a Coliseum, so we'll get the players set up in this replay here, and then we will, like we said, a full replay because this finished at a tie 2-2. It will be 3 flag captures to win this next replay here. Now, should these two teams tie on this replay, then they will play another game, but it'll be the first flag capture wins at that point. So no more 5 replays like we saw.
So
in
is this is a replay,
full replay,
and then
start from scratch.
It would be a replay.
If they tie again, but it'll only be to 1 capture.
But it's still a replay.
It is still a replay. So, but lots of replays here that we are starting to see, but the games have been pretty close and intense nonetheless. So we do have the players here set up in the game. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Coliseum CTF replay, and we're on board here with Ninja.
That we are, and let's see what he's going to do right from the beginning. Looks like he's going to go towards that scatter shot, which we saw Falke go in the previous game. So now Ninja meeting up with that player down low, taking a look at his KDA.
That's a lot of deaths per game.
That is a lot of deaths, but that's very Ninja-like. Ninja likes to charge and be aggressive, get in there, cause some commotion, things like that, and always, one to drop a lot of kills, but also drop a lot of deaths at the same time. But I like that he opens up the map for his teammates too. So don't read too much into the stats, but either way, looks like Ninja's crouching underneath the flag area. And is that going to work is the question. Does get the kill. Is he going to be able to get the return? This could be huge. He even crouches underneath the other player that was trying to kill him and stops that flag cap.
Ninja does a fantastic job. He's still alive here right now. Can't believe what this kid's been able to do. Still got the rockets. Will shoot that off. Now he is going to be cleaned up here by Contra. But regardless, Ninja will take a quick peek at the stats, see how many kills he was able to rack up to start this one off. And that is 4 kills. Oh, no, for Stellar. Only 1 for Ninja. So it was Stellar that was going
like
on a tear.
He was staying alive. It's not like he got a kill tag or anything.
It does a great job creating opportunities for Stellar to pick up a whole bunch of kills. As you see Roy just grabbing a double kill. That was Sniper falling off of his body right now as Ninja gets a kill, and the Sniper potential clip action as he grabs 2.
Clip, choke.
Anyway, still got the Sniper, plenty of ammo. Could have had it, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but was not able to finish it off.
Yeah, Ninja playing...
Did we just do a choke chant on stream?
Ninja playing at a really high level. You can see that he's moving extremely quickly. And that's one of the things last week that I was a little bit worried about his mechanics. But it seems like his mechanics very on point, especially as the series continues to go on.
Ooh,
so
that's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. And switching on over to his pistol is Contra. He's looking for even more, using that as using the scatter shot pretty much as a sniper rifle so far. And Straightsick can't find anyone around him. Or was that Roy? So Roy can't find anyone around him, and Devin's going to be able to get the sniper and the scatter shot at the same time. However, there's a player in his opposing window, so nice job by Ninja flanking around and getting that priority kill.
Yeah, I like what Predominator was trying to do. He was trying to use the map terrain there, that little ledge in front of the base to essentially block some of the shots there. Does a pretty good job, but unfortunately he is still going to be taken out, but he buys some extra time for his team, and that's sometimes the best you can do in some situations.
Flag taken.
Yeah, and this is looking a little bit scary for Evil Geniuses as this flag was being pulled a lot faster than Roy was expecting, so he had to fly out and give up positioning and try to get this return. It's continuing to be in Ran as Straight also has the rockets, so it looks like this is going to be a 1-0 lead for Allegiance. And keep in mind, just as Kyle was saying before, guys, this is a full replay. It's not first capture wins. Otherwise, this one obviously would be over. So looks like Contra's going to try to fall back. And as he falls back, someone comes into his window. And now all the players for Allegiance trapped on the snipe side of the map. And you have the scatter shot in the back pocket of Ninja. And he does a fantastic job setting up on that side of the map and getting kills. If they're able to get this cap, definitely not all Ninja, but he's been a big part of this one, just laying down so much damage.
Oh, and he still grabs that kill. There's a lot of people dying left and right for both these teams. Lunchbox does, in fact, have the flag. Get some shots on Falcated. They will go ahead and Stellar will get the back smack there, finish off that kill. Flag is still at home to score. They need to be able to grab one of these or get a touch here shortly as Contra's trying to contest this the best as possible. Now, Predetonator's also pushing over. Goes for that ground pound. Oh, it was so far away, but he was still able to secure it. But it wasn't enough as Contra also died, and Ninja's going to be able to grab that flag. Couple maybe little bit of mistakes, but it looks like it will be enough, and they are going to tie this one right back up.
Nice job by Mr. Blevins to not only get the slays, but eventually gets rewarded by putting the flag capture in as well. So that's going to be Evil Geniuses tying this one up 2-2, but they need to try to contain map control and just make sure that they're getting up top, because while this is a nasty triple kill, you got to get up top center and get people in position to go for the flag. Lunchbox getting the kill onto Straight 60. That's what happens. Now that you're in this poor position, you don't have angles on the spawners no matter how many kills you get. So that little split second that he took, now everybody is out of that area. And let's see what's going to be able to happen here if Evil Geniuses is going to be able to get this flag pull. It's going to be 2-on-2. Flag going in. It looks like Lunchbox trying to play a little bit of defense here. Has to get this kill over on this elbow. Is he going to be able to do so? No. So huge over there by Contra. And there goes the return from Allegiance.
Wow, I can't believe they actually put that one back. And that might open up an opportunity for a counter cap as they weren't able to pick up any kills there. You've got a player top Rockets holding him back. Contra running the flag across bottom center. Player coming up off spawn here for Allegiance off elbow is going to be able to push back to the base and try to contest here. And they might be able to secure this second capture. Only person in position is Roy, who's already weak and not being able to get a pull.
Weird little route coming in for Contra, but it works. Clambers up towards the elbow, realizing that grenades were coming in behind him. And this is one of the things that I don't want to see, though, for the side of Allegiance is they set up and play a little bit of defense. They need to be more concerned about flanking over towards elbow side of the map or getting control over towards this, which is fine. But I would like to see them utilize the elbow a little bit more and do what Straight Six doing. Yeah, I like this play from Straight Six, but if he had someone else with him, they would easily get that kill and be pulling that flag halfway already.
All right, and now Stellar is going to come off spawn there on the base, grab the carbine off of Straight Six dead body and take it up to top Rockets here. He doesn't see any players, knows that essentially everyone's down in their base. 3 members probably getting some call-outs that they're trapped over their front of the base. Now Stellar will listen to some call-outs, picks up 1,
nice.
2. That's always a good time to grab a flagpole, especially off another triple. That's the second one we've already seen from Stellar. When you grab a triple and get a flagpole, you know you can get it halfway across the map pretty easily without being taken out, unless somebody 5-shots you perfectly coming,
wow.
you know, jumping out the window, and he plays it perfectly and ties this up 2-2 again already. Stellar being a monster.
Fantastic shots with the carbine, amazing objective work coming in as well. And this game has just been insanely close, Kyle. So hard to pick here, but again, I think that this kind of plays into Allegiance's hands because EG, they've been able to have these determining points in the game where they've made their run and they've made their statement, and then that's when they close it out. But Allegiance, they're just hanging around. They're just constantly, you know, making sure they're not giving up, just keeping themselves competitive, making sure that they're giving themselves an opportunity for when this series goes to the end or goes to game 5 or whatever it is, that they're going to be in contention to win. And look at that. They pick up 2 kills there. Evil Genius is not in position. They're stuck on the Rocket side of the map. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting turn of events over here. You have both flags being pulled over towards the scatter shot. It's all going to come down to this, Kyle.
Wow, both flags out bottom center. Ninja already going extremely clutch, as essentially Straight Six should have picked up and secured the kill there, but was not able to do so. Falcated keeping the hopes alive here. Straight Six with a double kill. They need to make sure they get this return, and a miss.
Who was that? Missed the flag over there. So it couldn't have been Stellar because Stellar just got a kill. Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Whoever that was.
This guy.
So Lunchbox, yeah. Lunchbox missed the flag there. That should have been an easy touch. And look at the flags out right now. Straight Stick looking for the triple. Is that going to be an overkill for him? I'm not sure, but it is. There's the Exterm. Straight Stick going in with the flag. He should be able to capture this one. If you get an overkill when the flag's halfway and don't get the cap, I quit. And it's 2-2 going into game 5, Kyle.
That reminds me of a T-squared overkill. Drops down, 4 players, no shields, right in front of your face. Easy peasy.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
No, but take a look at these stats. Stellar, 27 kills as Lunchbox has 8 kills that game. Predevinator, Lunchbox both sitting at 8. Straight Stick 24. Stellar 27 kills. This is like a repeat of what we saw from Falcated in the previous one.
You got to be very, very worried if you're Evil Geniuses, because you just allowed Straight Stick to get an overkill, and you know, not like you allowed him to, like, hey, Straight Stick have this overkill, but Straight Stick had to work for that one, be at the right place at the right time. But you're up 2-0 in this series. What happened last week? Same exact scenario against a team that is just a completely different caliber. So obviously Evil Geniuses has some sort of problem finishing series, and Allegiance, they've had problems in game 5s. So something's going to give.
Yeah, somebody's going to give here in this situation. We got a team that's horrible at game 5s against another team that has kind of been throwing games. So a lot going to be, you know, on the line here, considering both of these guys are in that relegation spot. Straight Stick overkill right there. That overkill extermination one, that's a little bit more rare than some of the other ones you've seen. But, well, lots of clips those games, too. We saw at least 2 triple kills, I think, out of Stellar. Got
nasty snipes from Stellar.
Right.
Yeah, fantastic play. You had that ninja ground pound that came in on Falcated in the previous game. I don't want to say it was the replay because it was the original first game that was played, but I was saying that I think that the way that Coliseum CTF was playing out, that it favored Allegiance's playstyle. They've just been constantly hanging in there, hanging around towards the end, and the games that they won, you know, Rigged Strongholds was much more, I'd say, a decisive victory than the other games that Evil Geniuses won, maybe besides game 1. So they've played these guys very, very tough. It's a very evenly matched matchup here that we have going on.
Yeah, and with game number 5 happening, you know, Evil Geniuses, they've been really, really struggling to close things out. They had that 2-0 lead. You know, it's a big momentum swing whenever that happens. So another thing to factor in, a lot of the game 5s that we've seen from Allegiance were just trading games back and forth, not so much as what we've seen from Evil Geniuses, who have consistently been able to even gather a 2-0 lead in a series before they end up throwing it away. So they've done that at least once or twice now at this point here. They did against Optic Gaming, and now Allegiance, they have their opportunity to come out and get some revenge. Just imagine if their week 2, I think, matchup against Evil Geniuses had gone a little bit differently there, then, you know, this would be a completely different story. We'd be talking about Allegiance making a run for finals as opposed to these two teams competing to stay out of relegation.
It all comes down to Slayer on Eden. Remember, Kyle, when we were talking about how Allegiance, these game types kind of favor them towards the end. Not necessarily favor, but they're not the worst in the world for these guys to get back into it, especially because there's weapons on here. So someone is going to be making a name for themselves. I have a feeling someone's going to go big. The big question is who's it's going to be.
All right, who are you taking to go big? We got to choose somebody from each team.
Oh, man, so tough. Let's go with... I'm going to go with Ninja, since he got the first kill of the game.
All right, you can always go for that kind of strategy there. I'm going with Stellar here. I just expect him to do big things now. He's more comfortable on the team. He's also, oh no, who's his teammate that's screwing him over and not letting him get the rockets?
I don't know, but that guy is going to cost them possibly the game right there by not being able to secure those rockets. Those are very important to pick up. The question is Allegiance aware that they're sitting down there? And Kyle, you said you've got to pick one player from each team, and then you picked a player from the same team that I picked.
All right, let me see here. I'm going to go with Predevinator.
Oh, man, that was originally who I was thinking too, but we'll see what happens. Devin with these rockets picking up 2. Kyle's predictions.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Predevinator.
You're spot on, Kyle. How'd you know?
It's just one of those things. Either you got it or you don't, Tom.
Yeah, I guess so. So we'll see here, because now it's virtually tied up to 1 kill lead for Evil Geniuses. Doesn't mean much, though, because you do have blue control right now over on the side of Allegiance, but they said, screw that, we're going to go charge these guys, and I'm not sure if that's the right play, because you do have Stellar over here with the snipe. I'd understand why you'd want to get it out of his hands, but is it worth leaving your side of the base or your side of the map that you have on lockdown for it, and it looks like that they really wanted it.
Yes, it was very worth that. And 7-2 Predominator, a 4-1 Falcated, both of these. Wait, the other guys didn't even have kills, did they?
No, they didn't.
So 2 members not even with a kill yet. And another good trade there. Predominator is still with a sniper here. So, gosh, these 2 kids really are. Everybody is stepping it up here against them now. Falcated.
Everyone's shots looking so much better than they were in game number 1. We saw a couple sloppy CTF Fathom one-on-ones, and now this is the level of Halo that we know and love here and expect in this fall season, as the game has been out for just about a year now. So, yeah, Falcade over here. Look at that, 3 players on the side of Evil Geniuses, and Kyle, this is where we're gonna see what Evil Geniuses is made of. Everyone just died. Where's their communications gonna be? What's it gonna be like? Are they hectic? Are they mad at one another? Are they placing blame, or are they actually focused and trying to get back into this game?
Yeah, we'll have to ask Towie that one if they're able to come back here and win. Falcated with the sniper. Here you got Rocket still in the hands of Contra. He will spot out Lunchboxes. Is not in a good position for EG. Ooh, he's going for it. And he does. Gets it through the crack for a quick double. He does. There's a player over there hiding, but instead he'll just back up and reload these rockets here. Now, this is really scary moments now for Evil Geniuses, but they do have the split spawn. The rocket,
nice
even
spawn.
though I don't think it actually shot off, he only had 1 rocket left in the chamber, was not able to get that out in time, even though the animation almost looked like it did.
That was a very fortunate spawn for Ninja, and able to get the rockets out of the player who just killed him with that set. So that slows down the map just a little bit over here as you have Roy crouching towards mid-bridge with the SMG. Now Falcade making his push with the rocket, with the shotgun, ends up picking up 2 kills. Straight Sick gonna be calling out Roy, who's now the last guy alive for Evil Geniuses. So everyone gonna switch their focus towards the security side, and we're already halfway through this game as Evil Geniuses now with a 9-kill deficit.
Ooh, and Roy's going for the challenge here. He's going to get sandwiched by another player, so that's a 1-for-1 trade. Lunchbox gets into a 1v1 with Straight Sick here.
Shots.
Perfect shots to back him down.
Why challenge that? Like, what are you doing? There's 0. That is not calculated. You need a new calculator, Lunchbox.
All right, and they got the shotgun and sniper, though, in the hands of Falcade, and he's putting them to use. Still a 10-kill lead. Just lining up, going for some of these no-scopes and scoped-in shots here. So many nades coming in from Evil Geniuses. Good job for them to take that player out. You have Stellar trying to collapse here with the SMG out. Straight Sick trying to hit some of these snipe shots. Like to see him exit this situation as fast as possible. He will go ahead and do that. 2 shots left in the sniper. That's the time you just need to start shooting those shots off. Just try to keep them off the ground and out of the hands of Evil Geniuses. I don't know if anyone's going to actually push down bottom center to commit for that, but some great nades coming in here once again from Evil Geniuses to pick up some of these kills. 2 members of Allegiance collapsing over from Red Ben, and eventually they will win the battle for Rockets.
This is looking like Allegiance's time to shine, Kyle. They have the Rockets, they have the 10-kill lead, all the momentum in the world. That player crouching, though, is a huge play because of the fact that now Straight Sick's like, all right, what do I do with these? Electing to bring him back towards the security of the side, but all of his teammates are outside, so he's going to need someone else to push in here. If you're an Allegiance fan, you would hope that Straight Sick has communicated this towards his teammates, because he's in a very, very questionable situation right now, and if he turns over the rockets to Evil Geniuses, then they're in really prime position with them already. So doesn't see the player on his radar, but that player is going to try to ground pound, so now he's trade positioned with him. And I would just be crouching here. There's no reason to even appear on the radar. There's a player that's above him. You'd have to assume that he's going to continue to know that you're there, so he's going to get shot any second in the back. There it is. So finally able to find at least 1 player, wasting a couple of the rockets, and that's what you got to do. Just don't give the rockets on over to Evil Geniuses, and you'll be fine. Looking a lot better with his battle rifle than he is with the rockets.
Yeah, so he will go put those away. Does, however, grab a double kill, though. It was initially a good flank. The player wanted to go for a ground pound on him, kind of realized he wasn't going to hit it. Still has to reload these with 1 left in the chamber here. 11-kill lead, and Evil Geniuses needs to play this carefully going forward because there's not a lot of room for error left.
Yeah, here it goes. Straight Sick trying to end this one with a charge. And Devin picking up some kills as well. I knew I should have picked Devin in the beginning of this game. Why didn't I pick Devin? What are the stats, Kyle?
Speaking of Devin, let's go ahead and move over there to... this is going to be Falcated. Oh.
I want to see the stats.
All right, stats. Oh, wait, hold on. After this fight. After this fight, we'll go stats.
Well, it's...
An accidental ninja.
Wow.
He thrusted backwards in regards to the 1v1 fight. I don't even know if he knew there was a player there.
Stats,
and he will grab it. All right, stats. 14 and 4
Oh,
Falcated.
We should have picked Falcated.
Dude, that was the no-brainer to go with. Why did no one pick Falcated?
Definitely should have picked Falcated, but this one not over yet. We've seen really crazy comebacks in Eden Slayer, so if Evil Geniuses can just set up here and just not allow any stupid deaths, and that's a death that you can't afford right there. Someone needs to be covering Roy. He's single-handedly the player that can help you get back into this game. And now with 2 kills there for Allegiance, pretty much virtually over for EG, and this is a disastrous loss for them, Kyle. They're losing to the team after being 2-0, sitting at last place, and with only 1 win this entire fall season. I would not want to be at the Xfinity training facility right now and listening to what they have to say to one another.
Oh, you know it's going to be bad right now. You've seen just how disappointed and upset some of those guys can be after a win, yet alone a loss like this. And we've talked about it time and time again. No need to even bring it up. The amount that was on the line in this series, and that was Evil Geniuses, who were contenders to make it the finals, losing to the last place team Allegiance, who's just now picking up their 2nd victory of the season.
The big question now is Evil Geniuses going to be able to make it out of relegations, really, in my opinion? That's what that series says to me, because they're on a huge downward spiral. Obviously, dropping Victory X didn't pay off for them. It could have paid off for them if they could have just closed these series out, and it would be a completely different story. So they have to realize that, you know, life isn't over for them. They still have an opportunity mathematically to take over 4th spot, but to me, if they continue to put up this performance and if they continue to not win, then what else besides relegations is down the road for them?
Right, and then of course Allegiance actually coming out and taking this series 3-2 at a Game 5. It's going to be the first Game 5 that we see them winning, and on top of that, we're going to get to chat with someone from Allegiance, which we don't get to do very often this season.
That's true. That's true. I want to see who that's going to be, but that was just a fantastic way to turn around a series there for Allegiance, and started with Rig Strongholds on a game type that they've proven to be very, very tough on, and then they carried that momentum into CTF Coliseum, and a lot of it had to do with Falcated in that Rig Strongholds game, dropping that 25 bomb, and then again in that Game 5 there, going absolutely huge, and just an overall team effort by everybody, especially in that CTF Coliseum game. Such back and forth there. It was not only just, oh, boom, boom. It was cap for one team, cap for the other team, counter cap for this team, counter cap for the other. So fantastic Halo by both teams.
Yeah, and you saw individual players going really clutch as well. Like even towards the end of that game, I think it was, you know, Lunchbox or somebody that killed Straight Sick going up Rocket Ramp when Straight Sick probably should have won that battle, and they could have been able to end the game right there. But a lot of back and forth action, like we've talked about, these teams are so equally skilled, and Allegiance, some of the best shots in the game. And when you have great shots and the chemistry is working out, everyone's clicking as a team, you can come back and have a reverse 3-0 sweep like this and convincingly win, you know, like a game number 5. And, you know,
you're a liar, Kyle. We will not have an interview. We're just hearing. So
Allegiance, we haven't had a lot of opportunities to talk to them in the past. Looks like we're not going to get another opportunity to talk to them today.
They weren't ready. They were like, oh, well, we didn't line up the interview for today. Yeah. We were down 2-0 in the series, so we just called it. But either way, you know, I do want to talk to these guys eventually and get them in and ask them a couple of questions about, you know, how their series was. The only interview that we actually did have with them was with Shooter, who's no longer on the team.
So we literally never talked to anyone on the team this
personally,
season.
I would like to sit down with Straight Sick and talk about that overkill and things like that, and talk about what he's, you know, had, what's his experience has been like on this new team. But we'll see. I don't know who they're playing tomorrow, but if they squeak another win out, hopefully they don't have to do it in such dramatic fashion for if you're an Allegiance fan. But that was just a great performance by them.
They're probably already left to go out celebrating because just one of those nice surprise victories there.
I guess.
Now, of course, that does it for our third match of the night, as we do see Allegiance defeat Evil Geniuses in a game number 5. Now, of course, if you like what you see and want to see how you can participate at home and be the next player to make it into the HCS Pro League, you know, join the likes of Straight Sick, who we just saw come out of the open circuit as well, you can always go and visit halo.gg to find out all the information about the open circuit, including upcoming LAN events. Now, that does it for match number 3. Our last match of the night is the match of the week. We've got Team Liquid battling Team Envious in the rematch. Don't go anywhere, and we'll have the match of the week right after this.